Welcome on the third Cargo Along the Danube conference. This is a free and open session, so we will record it for the speaking and presentation. Okay. Welcome again. This is the third.
The Danube International Online Conference. I would like to thank Mr. Murvaj, who is the main sponsor of this event, and he gave us a lot of help to organize this event and to connect with our partners. So, with a big thanks for him.
Our first
presenter will Mr. Horia Mintas, who is the economic counselor of the Embassy of Romania to Hungary. Hello. You have a
right to.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry, your sound was really bad, and that's why I did not understand everything you were saying.
So sorry.
Now it's better.
But the voice is
yours, and hopefully your microphone will be perfect.
Again, yeah.
Okay, please. We try to do our best.
I don't know how you did it a few seconds ago, but then it was perfect.
Change your mic.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Horia Mintas, and I am the economic counselor of the Romanian embassy in Hungary. And today I will make you a brief introduction about some data about Romania. And then in the second part of the presentation, some information regarding the bilateral trade between Romania and Hungary. I hope you will find it interesting, and please, if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me at any time. Can you see it? Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So brief information about Romania. Probably some of you already know this, but Romania, we try to position our country as a bridge between East and the West at a crossroad of three large markets: the EU, the CSI, and the Middle East. Through the Port of Constanta and other entry points in Romania, we can position it as a platform for the whole Europe, goods, persons, and so on. As you know, Bucharest is the capital of Romania. It has a population of around 19 million. And the largest city is Bucharest, followed by Cluj, Iași, Timișoara, Brașov, Constanța, and so on. Due to the fact that Romania is member of the EU and NATO, all the business opportunities benefit of some free trade agreements and other movement of free goods to Europe. Just a glance about some macroeconomic data that I will go through in the next slides. Regarding the GDP, in 2023, the National Institute of Statistics prognoses growth of 2.8 GDP growth. In 2022, we had almost 4.9 GDP growth. As you can see, in 2017, we had the highest GDP growth of 8.2. Regarding the inflation rate, in 2022, we had 13.8 inflation rate, rate so high, higher than in 2005, as you can see on the first brick on the screen, which was 9%. The unemployment rate, luckily it was quite steady, despite the turbulent times that we've been through the last years. So in 2022, we had 5.5% unemployment rate. The minimum wage in Romania, probably this information most of you know, it's 606 euros. In comparison with Hungary, it's 500, where it's 579, or other neighboring countries like Poland, 746, or in Slovenia, where it's double. The tax system of Romania, which is quite a very friendly environment for all the businesses, and I invite you all to invest in our country if you already did not do it. The corporate income tax, it's 16%. Dividend tax rate, it used to be 5%, but now it's been raised since 2023 to 8%. Social securities for the employer are just 2.25, and of course, the VAT is 19%, but we have a reduced rate for different products of 5% and 9%. The employee has to pay an income tax of 10% and social securities of 35%, out of which 10% is for healthcare and 25% is for pension. One of the good things that we have in our fiscal system, and a few years ago the government of Romania introduced it, it's zero income tax for employees in the R&D sector and in IT&C. Due to this, Romania has become a very popular destination for IT investments. And of course, what attracts the company into our country is that there is zero profit tax for the first 10 years of activity in case of an R&D company. In comparison with other countries and neighbors of Romania, we position ourselves quite good. We have one of the lowest corporate income taxes, one of the lowest VAT rates, and one of the lowest rates for dividends in this area of Europe. Of course, compared to Hungary, where the corporate income tax is 9%, the VAT in Hungary is the highest in Europe, but there are no dividend taxes. This one is just for your information, as all the countries have state aid support for countries. This is more targeted for production. This is the state aid intensity in different regions of Romania. The government of Romania offers state aid support for investments that have a minimum of 1 million euro investment. And you can get a cash grant depending on the investment and depending of the region where you position your future investment, up to 60% of the eligible costs of your investment. In terms of connectivity, of course, we can start with the Port of Constanta, which is the deepest and largest in the Black Sea. And also one good route, it's the Danube, where all the southern border of Romania, it consists of the Danube River. We have 16 international airports with more than 100 flights worldwide. And the newest airport that will be launched in June, hopefully, it's the Brașov Airport, which has also at least a regional or European premiere that they will have control tower supported by artificial intelligence. So basically, they will not have a physical control tower like all traditional airports. Of course, besides the airports and the ports, there is the network of rail and roads. In terms of investments, we welcome future companies in more than 100 industrial parks, where they can benefit of different tax exemptions, like building or land. depending where you put your investment. Due to the proximity of the Western Europe and connection with the whole European road network, most of the industrial parks are located in the western part of Romania. And of course, with the industry in the center of Romania, where you can see it's the number 27, it's the region with where is the Dacia factory. In terms of industries or areas that we highly recommend investments are the agriculture, which probably most of you are really familiar with in terms of shipping crops and cereals. Agri-tech, everything that is related with agriculture will be highly supported by the RRF funds that will be coming in the next 2 years in Romania. So it will be a good opportunity to expand your businesses in this area, of course. And the second one would be the energy field. Romania has a wide network of rivers, a very diverse energy mix consisting of bioenergy, solar energy, wind, hydro, nuclear, coal energy. And we can be very proud that approximately 30% of our energy mix is green energy. So you can see there is this small pie down there where you can see the water with 30%, then there is green with 5%, wind with 5%, and so on. Also, as a world premiere, Romania, together with the US partners, they will introduce a new technology called the small modular reactors, which now it's an undergoing investment. And hopefully there will be an aid to the future of energetic independence of our country. Here are the top 3 industries that contribute most to Romania's GDP. It's the automotive industry, of course, then it comes the IT&C industry, and then it comes the aerospace industry. Some of the key players, as you can see, you can find them. You can find most of the big players in top 500 companies from around the world present in Romania. In terms of the automotive industry, we have 2 tier 1 producers, Renault, Dacia, and Ford, and then other auto parts suppliers, more than 800 auto parts suppliers in our country. And now I think it will be the most interesting part regarding the Romanian-Hungarian economic bilateral relations. So 2021 was a record year. We settled a new record. We had 14.98, so let's say 15 billion euro, the total trade between Romania and Hungary, which is an increase of 37% comparing to 2021 when we had only 11 billion euros. Romanian exports have increased with 60% compared to last year. Also the imports, but we are trying to catch up the trade deficit that we have. A few years ago, we had 2.5 billion euro. And today we can count it, at the end of 2022, we counted at only 1.4 billion euro. Hungary is one of the most important trading partners of Romania after Germany and Italy. As you can see, it represents almost 7% of the total Romanian external trade. And Hungary is the 3rd destination for the Romanian export, and it's the 4th country where the Romanian imports come. Here you can see the evolution of the trade between the 2 countries in the last 10 years. As you can see, in 2023, the total was 7 billion euros, and today we have 15 billion euros, so doubled. during this period. But also at the end of 2022, you can see we have the lowest trade deficit in the last 10 years. Of course, in 2007, for example, we had somewhere around 3 or 4 billion euros. So it grows with every year, proving us that the economic relations between the two countries are important. Nevertheless, the context and trade, it can be the engine of the partnership between the two countries. Also, as you can see on the data, the exports and the imports gradually increase year by year. And in the following slides, I will do a small analysis on the top categories that compose the export and import between Romania and Hungary. So the top export categories are the mineral products, then machineries and other electrical equipments, metals, vehicles, vegetable products, meaning cereals. Then the import categories are machineries, chemical products, mineral products, plastics, food products, and metals. So here you can see a comparison of the top export categories, 2021 compared to 2022. As you can see, mineral products in 2021 had a value of over 600 million and volume of 2 million tons, over 2 million tons. In 2022, the mineral products almost tripled to 2.5 billion euros, meaning that, but the volume increased just a little bit, meaning that in terms of value, we exported added value products. The most, what it's composed in both in 2021 and 2022, if you take it by categories, it was salt, cement in volume and mineral oils and fuel in value. The next one in machineries, you can see it's not a very big difference between the volume and the value. And of course, the machines, apparatus, parts, both consist of this high volume. Regarding metals, where we have an accident with Hungary, aluminium products were most traded in value, and iron, steel, cast iron in volume. Vehicles, meaning cars, as you can see, it's not a big difference between the 2 years. And then vegetable products, meaning seeds and fruits, seeds also, and in volume, and value in cereals. In the next slide, the same idea regarding the import, the top import categories, where machineries are on number 1 with over 1 billion, 1.5 billion euro in value. The second one comes the chemical products, mostly pharmaceutical products in value. Mineral products, plastic products, and food products are the followings. As you can see in both years, in 2021 we had lower value and volume in most of the areas, and in 2022 we had a bigger value but a lower volume, except the machineries, meaning that there were more added value products trade between. Regarding investments in Hungary, There are more than 7,000 companies, Romanian-owned companies in Hungary, and there are around between 30 and 50 companies that have a turnover of over 30 million. The largest being EMAG, the online retailer that tagged along with same-day courier, which is the shipping company, Rent-A-Car, Grampet, which has the train Hungary, and there are some more IT and commercial. Of course, they're in healthcare, and we have a lot of companies that work in construction, including one that has over 1,000 employees. Regarding the Hungarian investments in Romania, there are over 14,000 companies with Hungarian ownership. Of course, the largest are the traditional ones that are present in all international markets, like MOL, OTP, Richter, Intotec, Wizz or Bonafarm, and there are other investments in healthcare, tourism, energy, and agriculture. These are my contacts. Please feel free to use them whenever you need. And this will be the end. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will have to leave in about 40 minutes because I have to go to another. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Horia Mintas, your presentation. I hope my voice is much better than was before. Before the event, we carefully checked our technical devices, but it's not a guarantee for working condition and a few minutes and hours later, so I'm sorry. In part of my introduced, I just speak about that this event is organized not just only the Navigator Bela Cargo Magazine, but we work close cooperation with the Port of Constanta. They will have a port day tomorrow, but today they are here and they have a presentation for you too. So I would like to introduce my friend Daniel Jarnea. He is the head of marketing department of Port of Constanta, and he will present for us many numbers and details about Port of Constanta. Daniel.
Thank you very much, Ando. Once again, I'm happy to be part of your event. And I'm going to start the presentation with some figures. The last year, we have handled the largest volumes ever operated in Port of Constanta in 75.5 million tons. As you can see, the evolution of the traffic, it's growing every year. Out of this traffic, 80% was represented by maritime traffic and 20% by river traffic. Probably this will let's say the small percent of the river traffic was also influenced by the drought that we experienced last year, which was really rough. But still the maritime traffic became more and more present, and you'll see a little bit later what was the influence and actually what happened the last year. These are the main categories of cargo. You can see for evolution for the past 7 years. Grains remain again the number one category in terms of quantities operated in the Port of Constanta, followed by crude oil and oil products, of course natural and chemical fertilizers, iron ore and scrap, and the solid mineral fuels, which is a category that for the past 2 years has experienced some increase, especially trying to make up with the energy consumption in Europe. An important increase that we experienced last year is regarding containers, because the past years the situation for containers wasn't that great. We experienced every year a small decrease, but last year we operated 770 7,000 TEUs, which again it's a result of the new logistic context that is happening at the Black Sea. Here are all the categories of cargo operated last year. I have to outline the increase of 11% compared with 2021, and again the important increase regarding containers for 30%. It's for the past 5 years we haven't experienced an increase of containers. Last year was a considerate one, and hopefully the evolution will keep up, and we will have better figures also for next year. The traffic with Hungary was affected, fortunately, last year by the draft and also the context. But the context also is offering new opportunities, which I would like to present you in the next slides. Here you can see an image on how the logistic corridors, let's say, have reconfigured to the new context of the Black Sea. So actually, middle corridor, which was an initiative, was started 10 years ago by the Caspian countries, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, became more important in the new context. Also, China is interested in this corridor. So instead of going through Russia because of the sanctions, now the cargo is going through Kazakhstan and then through Caspian Sea, and then with the connection with Georgia, which is the connecting country with the Caspian region, to Constanta, which is the main European Union port, and then the cargo should be delivered in Central Europe. And more than that, we intend to improve the connections and to try to link Black Sea with the Baltic Sea. In this respect, I have to mention the Three Seas initiative. In this Three Seas initiative, there are 3 projects that include the Port of Constanta. The first one is Via Carpathia, which is a transport corridor, and Port of Constanta will be connected through the national road network. Fairway Danube, that's a project that was closed and includes Port of Constanta, and the objective was to the implementation of a master plan for rehabilitation and maintenance of the Danube channel. And last but not least, I think it's the most important, is rail to sea. It's regarding a rail corridor between the Port of Constanta and Port of Gdansk. This corridor will cross 4 European Union countries: Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, and Poland. Also, it's in the vicinity of important industrial centers in Romania, for example, in Timișoara, Craiova, in Bucharest, and also can be, let's say, connected with in the southern part to other countries and other transport corridors. So it can go more than, and can help more than the countries that I previously mentioned. Besides that, I have to just 1 second. To this corridor, the countries from the Baltic Sea are interested. There's Rail Baltica, which connects Estonia, Lithuania, and Lithuania. They have the connection could be done in Warsaw. So this could be a very good option for these countries in order to transport their goods via rail and ensure their logistics services. On the eastern part of Port of Constanta, there are already started last year the container regular line between Poti and Constanta in May 2022. This is also one of the reasons that the traffic for containers increased. The potential is quite good from this area, especially middle corridor. Now the Georgian partners are trying to improve their infrastructure, maritime infrastructure, in order to absorb and to transit as many goods as possible. And this connection now is, let's say, the direct connection with the middle corridor. This is an existing service, but also for this year we have in view, Port of Constanta is in view, and all the stakeholders involved to develop two new ro-ro lines. One is Poti Constanța, which comes to support the container line with the regular nodal transport semi-trailers in European Union. This could be also for future. We think we also can analyze the possibility to be followed by a ferry regular line. But first thing is important to start this one. Hopefully, by the middle of this year, we will have this line between Poti and Constanța. And Karasun Constanța, this is a line between Romania and Turkey. This line is important because Karasu is a port in the vicinity of the industrial centers in Bursa and Ankara. Again, the idea is to start this line probably also in the summer, in the middle of this year. And the conditions for transportation are quite good. There's 10 hours voyage between Constanța and Karasu, and it's a very viable solution to the already congested situation at the borders with Bulgaria. These are quite few of the things that have changed. This new context it's imposing that the flows will have new logistic corridor. Port of Constanța will become in the future more important for containers, hopefully, and also these ro-ro lines or a service that needed to be developed in Port of Constanța. So I think these opportunities could also be, used by the countries in the hinterland of our port in order to have access to new markets. As I mentioned, as the Caspian Sea can be not only a source for containers, but also for raw materials. A country like Kazakhstan, for example, are producing also raw materials needed for the industry. So we believe that in the future, developing this, we will bring more opportunities through the Port of Constanța and also to their partners in their hinterland. This was my presentation. I hope the information was really interesting. Also tomorrow we will talk about these opportunities. And please, you can follow us on media. Probably in May we will have the new annual report, or you can contact us in order to have more details. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Yep. I have a message for everyone. We have a question and answer section down. So if you have any question to our panelists, don't hesitate to write there, and they will answer for your questions. So the next step is we are going to Hungary, and the Hungarian Federation of Danube Ports President, Captain Bela Szalma, show us a presentation about the Hungarian ports as logistic hubs. So Bela, share your screen and start your presentation, please. Bela.
Okay, thank you very much. I am just sharing the presentation.
Okay.
How do you? Okay.
Okay.
It's working?
No, still not.
Still not. Okay. Just a trial.
Okay, we see your emails.
Thank you. So,
Not bad, not bad.
okay, step by step.
It's never easy. We also test the sharing
We
mode.
have already tested and it was working quite properly.
You like my microphone, so we completely understand your difficulties. Okay, we shared your presentation because we have one. So if you tell us,
for safety reason, I send it.
this is why you sent, yeah. So we see your presentation, Bela. So if you started to speaking, just tell us and we step in your presentation.
Just a sec.
And now we.
I lost even the Zoom as well.
Oh.
Okay. How can you read me?
Well, and
and on the screen is
on the screen is we shared your presentation.
Okay, so let's go further. Good afternoon to everybody. So the next slide, please. So let's see what we can brag about besides crying. The grain turnover to 55%, total Hungarian Danube traffic to 71% fell. So I am not very proud, and that's why we are crying. It's a very, very big fall within the last 2 years. And I guess that the trend is the very same. So my question is, how can we achieve the 10% modal share till 2030 if we are not able to handle more and more cargo year by year? So let's see what happened in the last year. So the next slide, please. So we were not able to load, this is one reason, above 2 meter draft for almost half of the year, a bit less, so 45 or 46%. As you can see, during the summertime, it was awful low water, and the navigability of the Hungarian Danube section was only acceptable for a quarter of a year. So 3 months is a peanut in order to shipping on an inland waterway. So I guess that it was one of the reasons why we are falling. The next, please. Okay, but let's not just complain. We have a fantastic master plan for development of the Hungarian river ports. Even though there is no water in the Danube and we are not able to navigate, the ports can or could operate properly. And also it's a huge amount. I'm talking about 200 million euro, what we invested into the Hungarian Danube ports. You can see all details, what we are working, what we have been working for years. You can see that we are working on the port classification system, adoption, digital cooperation, best practice, authority training program, and also what is very important, the promotion. The promotion with the young people, because we badly need the next generation for this kind of business. So the next, please. As you can see, the master plan for cooperation, and you can see that all the Danube port directors are in the same boat. So we are together crying and also brag about the good things. Next one, please. As you can see that we can sail together, okay? So the promotional video of Dionysos project is can be found on the web page, and also together with the Fairway Danube. The next page you can see what I am talking about. This short video can say everything what we did in this program, and also, as I mentioned before, a lot of promotion have been done during this 2 years period. There are several questions. I was crying because of the low water situation, but as I asked before, what is the focus on inland waterways? What we badly need as well, the water management. I am talking about the water management and not dredging and not other things. Water management is a very complex thing, including dams. And as you can see, the dams are built to provide the water suitable not only for the human consumption, but also for the navigation. The Hungarian politicians are very much afraid of dams and also very much afraid of the water management. But I see that a miracle happened, a dam, because we built a dam at the Mosoni Danube estuary. We opened last year, and the designer, the Hungarian designer of the dam, said that there is a lack of dams on the Danube, and this is the only way to make the navigability reliable, because we are losing not only the cargo, we are losing the customers, because once the customer moving to the road and the rail, it's very difficult to ask them to come back. And also, this is a very excellent example. I mean that this kind of projects, an active investment promotion, because we are very active on this stage, and the promotional policy and integration of the EVT is imperative in our business. So the next, please. You can find this on this web page. Only a few minutes to have a look at this. Also, usually we are talking about the crisis in Ukraine, because this crisis made some impacts, of course. The higher freights, because the ship owners was afraid of the higher energy cost in one hand, and also the supply and demand balance was in this respect unfair. So it was the two reasons why was the capacity missing during the last period, because in Hungary it was very difficult to find open tonnage for the Hungarian grain export to Constanta, because majority of the ship owners moving in between Romania and Constanta, of course, we know what is the reason. And the last, or the next one, please. Might you don't know that the Japanese emperor Naruhito, thesis in England, wrote about the inland shipping. And I guess that the emperor of Japan can only be someone who knows how to sail, how to navigate, how about the inland waterway transport. Thank you very much for your attention. And if there is any question, I am here standing by. Thank you.
Thank you, Bela.
Thank you, Bela. As I see, nobody write to us during the question and answer section down, but it's still available during the event. Our next presentation will a bit far away from the waterway, but we are going to the railway. So I would like to ask Mr. Gabor Marta. Yeah, hello Gabor, I see you. Try to share your presentation and say some words about who you are and what are you doing along the Danube.
So I would like to say hello also to all the participants of the meeting. I guess you can see now my presentation.
Still not. Okay, yes, shall we get started?
Okay. Basically, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Gabor Marta. I'm the managing director of Rail Cargo Logistics, which is the freight forwarding company in Hungary of the Rail Cargo Group. And I wanted to give a short overview about not only about our company, the group of Rail Cargo, but also the points where we see some potential for further growth regarding logistics connection with Constanta. But first of all, let me share a very personal experience. I wanted to share with you this photo. I think you can see it, which was taken exactly in Constanta last summer, thanks to Mr. László Erdélyi, who organized a very professional meeting and the visits to different companies in Constanta as a part of a Hungarian delegation. I could participate in a very important and useful meeting where we could understand much easier and much better what are the options, what are the services provided in the Port of Constanta. And this is what helped us also to start some new businesses, because also because of the actual situation, because of the war in Ukraine, the connection to the Black Sea through Constanta became even more important, and that was the reason that also the Rail Cargo Group built up some new businesses through the Port of Constanta. First of all, a short overview of the group, of Rail Cargo Group. Probably you know the company, but some figures and details. Let's say we are talking about a group of different railway related companies present in 18 countries, mainly in Europe, but since this year we have also an office in China. So we are present also in Asia. We are talking about almost 100 million net tons, which are transported every year by the group. It includes, the facilities include 16 terminals, partially or mainly continental terminals, but because of the connection to the different ports, we are well connected also to different seaports, and almost 2 billion euro sales turnover, which is generated by the businesses of the company. I mentioned the different connections, and this is where you can see that one of the strengths of the companies, of the Rail Cargo Group, is that it's a part of a network, and this network includes a lot of intermodal and traditional wagon load connections, connecting different industrial centers, ports in Europe, but we also are working on the progress of the development of the Eurasia connection. This is more or less about the group, focusing a bit on the activity in Hungary. The largest company of the rail cargo group in Hungary is Rail Cargo Hungaria. Rail Cargo Hungaria is the rail freight railway company, market leader in Hungary. As you can see, Hungary with 16% market share in the modal split is in a less favorable situation than it was, let's say, 30 years ago. But compared to other countries, 16% is something to be improved, but this is not the worst position in Europe. Waterway is, as Gergő also mentioned, is not the main area of modal split, but this 3% of the modal split includes also the waterway connection and the businesses made on the Danube, for example, also in connection with the Constanta port. Some figures, almost 2,000 people are working for Rail Cargo Hungaria, which means that roughly 1/3 of every employee in the Rail Cargo group is employed by Rail Cargo Hungaria. With a 45% market share, is the strong leader of the rail freight activities on the rail freight market, and with 63 own locomotives, and this number is increasing, has a very strong power to fulfill and transport the freight trains by its own locomotives. Almost more than 8,000 wagons are also important assets in order to offer services for our clients. A rough split of the different, on the left side, what you can see is the rough split of the different segments where Rail Cargo Hungaria is present. We can say that this is a very large portfolio with what we cover. 13% of the businesses are intermodal, and this part is increasing strongly, but we are also strong in mineral oil, agriculture, chemical industry, traditional mass products like steel, coal, iron ore, and so on. And an important part of the businesses, including also solution for consumer goods, pelletized goods. So we can say that it's a full range of products what is included in the portfolio of the Rail Cargo Group. Also, the split, what you can see on the right side, shows that in terms of international businesses is well represented. We can say that 20% of the businesses are inland, but all the other 80% is international business. The main advantage of the group compared to other competitors is that as a market leader and as a member of the Rail Cargo Group, which is present in 18 countries, this is a well connected network, what we can cover. Okay, I don't want to highlight too much of the green solution. We all know that railway is quite a green solution compared to road transportation, for example. As a market leader, we have a lot of special know-how, which are special product related solution, and with the local network in Hungary, we are able also to provide single wagon network and single wagon traffic, and Rail Cargo is the only company who can provide this option. Okay, I don't want to go in too much in detail. Some list shown here of the largest customers in in agricultural, chemical, and mineral oil related industries, MOL, Borsodkem, the Agrana Group, so the largest manufacturers who are working with the railway logistics are in our customer portfolio. This is valid also for wood, paper, and building material segment. The large building constructions, I mean railway, road constructions, now also the building of the BMW factory involve a lot of logistics activities where we are present, and by this reason we can be one of the largest players also in this segment. The same is valid for automotive industry as a supplier and logistics partner of Audi, Mercedes, and Suzuki. We are among the largest players also in the automotive logistics. And intermodal, which includes a lot of different solutions, including the block train connection to different sea terminals, continental terminals, also the largest Hungarian container terminal close to Budapest, the big container terminal is owned by the Rail Cargo Group, offers a wide range of possibilities of intermodal logistics. But also next to the basic rail freight activity, which is provided by Rail Cargo Hungaria, there are other services provided for our customers. These are the subsidiaries. The first subsidiary I wanted to mention is my own. I mean the company which I'm leading, Rail Cargo Logistics, the freight forwarder. But because we own also a transshipment terminal in Győr, between Vienna and Budapest, we can offer transloading services, but we can also offer trucking services because the company itself, the basic of the company is a rail freight activity, but the aim is to provide full range logistics services, which include warehousing provided by Rail Cargo Logistics, or trucking services, which is also offered by Rail Cargo Logistics. Rail Cargo Terminal, I already mentioned, the largest Hungarian container terminal close to Budapest, which is well connected with block train system to the main industrial centers in Europe and the sea terminals as well. In ports, Rail Cargo Operator is the operating company of intermodal block train systems, including the service to Turkey, to the Adriatic Sea, to Greece, Rijeka, and basically these are the main destinations. Next to the rail freight activities in Hungary, the Rail Cargo Group is providing the transportation, the railway transportation in other 17 countries in Europe, and the activity of transportation of trains is provided by Rail Cargo Carrier, which is also a network of different companies in 18 countries in Europe. And a very important member of this Rail Cargo Group is TS Hungary, which is TS Hungaria, which is the company who makes the revision and rebuilding of yearly roughly 1,400 freight wagons, but also is fulfilling the maintenance of 12,000 rail wheels. So in order to create a full chain of logistics services, it's a very important member of the family. And after the introduction of the Rail Cargo Group, I wanted to highlight some opportunities, how we see in the actual situation in Hungary. I already mentioned the network system in Europe. This is the basis of all logistics related services provided also by our company, but also by other companies. And this network has to be adapted always to the actual circumstances. One important circumstance is in the last year, in the last 12 months, is affected by the war in Ukraine. And by this reason, what we experienced is that the logistic flows changed of some goods, some raw materials, some industrial raw materials, but also the intermodal connection between Europe and Asia changed a lot. And in this respect, the importance of Constanta also in direction of Hungary increased a lot. We realized that there are three major flows which can affect also the flows to Hungary. One is coming through Turkey from the Middle East. This is one important flow which is getting more important. The second one is even very important, is the so-called middle corridor, which is connecting Asia with Europe through the Caspian and Black Sea through Constanta. What we experienced that the importance of this middle corridor is increasing very much, and also the connection directly from Ukraine to Constanta has increased a lot. What changed a lot in the last 12 months is what we experience in connection with the war, is that the flow of the Ukrainian grain became different. The connection through Black Sea is limited. That's why that's one reason why Constanta became more important. But what we realized that also the continental connection by rail from Ukraine through Hungary, through Slovakia, and through Poland increased a lot. Yeah, as you can see, and this is where also the Rail Cargo Group made some important progress, is to build up some connection with the countries of the middle corridor, with Georgia, with the Georgian, with the Azerbaijan railway companies. We had important discussions and meeting in order to strengthen the this flow of goods through the middle corridor, and I think this is something which will be even more important. Of course, there are some currently running projects in connection with the Constanta port, which includes also intermodal transport of Husen. With Rail Cargo Carrier Romania, we are making the transportation of the goods. We have transports of, we had last year a lot of transports through Constanta to Dunajváros, to Dunafer last year, and to Donaubrennstoff Kontor. And this year with the restart of the Dunafer activity, it run with liberty. And of course, Constanta is still an option, a very important option for the logistics chain of US steel in Košice. And for that, Rail Cargo Group can offer different type of goods for these mass products, EA, F-type wagons, and we are working on to provide even better services. And finally, some ideas of areas where we can see some points of further developments. As Mr. Bela Szalma also mentioned, the Danube is always the cheapest alternative from Constanta to Hungary. So we can, the rail option is sometimes a real option, first of all, when there is a lack of availability of the Danube. But there are also some points to be developed in the railway logistics. One point is the Hungarian-Romanian border in Curtici, the availability of rail services in this border station, and first of all, digitalization could help to achieve a higher capacity, and by this reason a better service and better quality of the logistics services. That's how we see the way of further development. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for Gabor Marta from Cargo Logistics Hungary, this presentation. And if you have any question to Mr. Marta, please don't hesitate to use the Q&A section below. Something there. And he will answer the questions. Thank you so much. And now we are going back to the river, and we are going to Croatia. There are sunshine and sea, but there are also river, the Danube River. And as you know, Croatia is connected finally to the European Union's Schengen zone. So the border crossings rules changed in most of the border of Croatia. It's included maybe to the port of, it's included also in the Danube section maybe. So we will ask our friends from the Port of Vukovar to show us a presentation about the current situation of the port and the changes what occurred the Schengen zone connection. It is a difficulty or an opportunity to the Croatian logistics sector, or what will happen, what they hope in the near future. So, Mr. Murvaj, try to share your presentation if you have. And
okay, thank you very much.
I heard you. So it's
here is my presentation.
The presentation is started. Perfect. And
yes. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to be a participant in the Cargo Along the Danube conference. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Krešimir Murvaj, head of the agency at the Freight Forwarding Department at the Port of Vukovar. I'll give you a presentation on topic Schengen zone or area, opportunity or difficulty for the Port of Vukovar. First of all, let me start by giving you some basic information about Schengen area or zone. The concept for the free movement between the European countries is very old, and it can be found to the middle of ages. The Schengen Zone Agreement signed on June 14, 1985 is a treaty that led most of European countries towards the abolishment of their national borders to build a Europe without borders known as the Schengen area. It was signed in Luxembourg initially by only 5 EU countries, France, Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Netherlands. The agreement remains one of the world's biggest areas that have ended border control between member countries. In 2023, Croatia became the latest member of the Schengen zone, and now there is a total of 27 EU countries in the Schengen zone. Schengen zone is the world's largest visa-free zone, and it is free and unrestricted movements for more than 400 million EU citizens. Let me go to the next slide. Schengen area advantages. The Schengen zone brings significant economic benefits to all citizens and businesses in its member state. Trade increased over time, cost, import-export dramatically reduced. Improved security, increasing cooperation between the police forces, customs and authorities, and external border control on its border. There is two important systems for the Schengen zone security: SIS, Schengen Information System, and which HIS is Visa Information System. But we'll talk it about more detail later. The next thing is the free movement. When there is no borders, it stimulates tourism, cultural exchange of students, work in one country, reside in other. What does it mean, Schengen mean for Croatia? First of all, the border control is abolished between Croatia and Hungary, and Croatia and Slovenia, the Schengen members. The most significant fact is that there is no more hours of waiting in line to cross the border for the people and the transport. Just a second. The border control still remains with Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, and Montenegro. Croatia is now the external border for the Schengen zone towards these three third countries. HIS, Schengen Information System. This relates to what I was saying earlier. It's Schengen Information System. It's the most widely used and largest information sharing system for security and border management in Europe. As there are no internal borders between Schengen countries in Europe, SIS compensates for border controls, and it's most successful cooperation tool for border, immigration, police, customs, and authorities in EU. VHS, Visa Information System, allows Schengen countries to exchange visa data. It consists of central IT systems of communication infrastructure that links the central system to national systems. VHS connects consulate in non-EU countries and all external borders, crossing points, and Schengen countries. It's process data and the decisions relating to applications for shorter stay visas to visit or to transit through Schengen area. This system can perform biometric matching primarily on fingerprints for identification and verification purposes. I didn't mention maybe this ETIAS, something new. ETIAS is European Travel Information and Authorization System. It's completely electronic system that allows us to keep track of visitors from countries who do not need visa to enter Schengen zone. The legal procedures to pass the ETIAS started in 2016, and the system is expected to be fully operational in 2024. While citizens of countries who do not need visa for travel purposes up to 90 days in EU do not need to go through a long process of applying for the visa. The ETIAS will make sure that these people are not a security threat. The ETIAS, besides being used for business and tourist purposes, will also allow people to visit Schengen countries for medical and transit reasons. And in addition, it will be mandatory for all countries, for all EU countries. The port of Vukovar is now, and not now, possessioned within the Schengen area. Port of Vukovar is located on Pan-European Corridor 7, near the border of two other corridors, Corridors 5 and Corridor 10. It has very good geographical position, and it's located on intersection of west-south flow and for goods between Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, and northeast flow of the goods between Hungary, Serbia, and Romania. The port of Vukovar is the most important and only Croatian river port on Danube, positioned on the 1,335th kilometer of downstream flow of Danube River. As Croatia entered Schengen zone in this year, it became the first entry border point from Serbia and the last exit border point from EU or Schengen zone to Serbia. The port of Vukovar is permanent and only border crossing point for international transport of passengers and goods by vessels. Schengen zone, an opportunity for port of Vukovar. What that means for us. Now, when there are no borders between Schengen countries, free flow of goods are possible. For example, goods from Port of Koper to Port of Vukovar by trucks and railway transport. They no more need to wait in line to cross the border. Passengers and trucks are moving much faster. And I don't know how, I don't have to tell you what faster transport means. What does it, Schengen zone means for the cargo and the passenger ships? The most significant changes is that vessels, cargo or passenger ships, they finish entering border control in Port of Vukovar as the first Schengen border point, no longer have to do the same in Mohac. That is the most significant thing in entering Croatia in the Schengen zone. Now the vessels don't have to wait the next day for the border control if they are going upstream to Mohac or other EU ports after. Something about railways, because that's some new EU projects in Vukovar. Upgrade and electrification of the railway line Vinkovci-Vukovar, a section very important for international transport in the length about 19 kilometers, and will enable increase of the volume of the railway transport and transshipment operations in the Port of Vukovar, and connections to the rail passenger transport with the main traffic corridors and other countries. Being situated at 10T corridor Rhine-Danube, in this way the port will have quality connections with corridor Pan-European Corridor 10 and Corridor 5B. Entering Schengen zone, there was reduced time to deliver goods, reducing costs and time. For example, custom clearance, wagons can leave earlier and do not have to wait next day for dispatch. Yeah, you can spare a lot of time going earlier than before. And electrification will bring improvements such as accessibility to Port of Vukovar, capacity of the railway, improving environmental impact, improving the level of passenger services, and improving energy efficiency because of electrification. There were no significant problems regarding Croatia's entry into the Schengen zone. I just need some time to adapt to the new situation. RIS, River Information System, it's still not fully covered that entire course of Danube, and its completely implementation is questionable. RHS primarily refers to possibility of tracking ships and controlling the navigation of the Danube River. That is one of things which we can track ships through Danube. So between Port of Vukovar or Mohač to Mohač, so you have control on their navigation. There also, for example, we all have new application introduced by our Ministry of Sea, Transport and Infrastructure, such as CIMIS. It is a Croatian integrated maritime information system, which is made to easier and faster for agents to enter through the digitalization of declaration of vessels for exit or entry of border controls. It makes us agents a lot of easier and quicker to prepare ships for border control. And that is this ISUP, it's the inland navigation system, especially for inland vessels. And there is still certain issues that we need to be cleared up regarding border control of vessels in the domain of Custom Office, Border Police, and Harbor Master. As far as I heard, Custom Office and the Border Police are in the contact with the colleagues from Serbia and Hungary, and I hope they will clear up all situations. This was one short presentation because it still didn't clear some issues about entering Schengen zone. But if there is any questions, or you can ask me, or you can send me an email. I will be gladly to answer you back. Here you can still see all of the information about the port on our new website. It's luka-vukovar.hr. Here is our CEO Marijan Kuprešak, his contacts, and contact of myself as the head of agency and freight forwarding department. And thank you very much for your attention. Good day.
Thank you so much. And I have a question. You don't speak too much about the current traffic of your ports. So how's the things are running there nowadays? Because we heard in Hungary they have difficulties of volumes and the level of the water. So what's your situation at the moment?
Excuse me, but I didn't hear you very well. Can you repeat, please?
Okay. So what's the current traffic in your port?
Current traffic?
Yeah.
Yes, but the traffic is low by 30% now because this EU sanction to Russia. We had a lot of Russian goods in port, which was in transit to Bosnia and Herzegovina. We have lost about 30% of the goods. So it's not a very good situation, but we hope some new goods will arrive, or some new ways will arrive through Port of Vukovar, and we'll cross our fingers and hope to do the best.
So you say the same. You said the same that Mr. Szalma. We are also hoped and waited for the better time.
Unfortunately, we are waiting better times and wait for new goods. For now, the options are not very good. Unfortunately, not very good.
Said to her, thank you so much, and
thank you
that you speak about this topic, which is a bit far from for us because we joined the Schengen zone many years ago, and we forget how difficult the life outside of the Schengen zone or in the corner of the Schengen zone. So
it was not much changed when we entered the Schengen zone. Mostly changed by documents and some things, but mostly it stayed the same because we are just a border between Serbia here, and so we don't have much problems when we enter.
And Serbia will not join for a long time still to the Schengen, I'm sure, and I really hope that Romania will, and it's maybe help for our railway and road freight companies to cross the border to Romania. But now we are going to Serbia, and they have also a special story, special customer, and I would like to introduce Ms. Biljana Vukotic from Port Dunav Pančevo. She is the Deputy Commercial Director of the port, and she will show the presentation about the container traffic and terminal in the port.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad to enjoy this meeting, and I hear a lot of very interesting and very important information for us. I mean, in Pančevo, especially, and in Serbia also. So I will start with our presentation, and I would like to point on the position of the port of Pančevo, of infrastructure, and also I would like to point a lot of agreement which Serbia has with EU and Euro-Asia Union, and our infrastructure and a lot of space for development. It's very important, and maybe it will be interesting for all of our colleagues who is in the meeting. I will start for the first, just a moment, please. I will start with our position. So, just a moment. Port of Pančevo is situated on the left bank of Danube, and on 1,153 kilometers. So we're crossroads of the roads, corridors Rhine, Main, Danube, and 10 and 11, which are running through this area. Complex of Port Danube Pančevo is 240 hectares, and it is situated in industrial zone in Pančevo. Also, Port of Pančevo has a direct road connection, road E70, which connects Serbia and Romania. Also, we has easier access for goods from EU, China, Far East, I mean. Also, our ports could receive containers from Constanta, but at the last time, a lot of containers come from Rijeka and Koper, which transported goods to Serbia. At the moment, we don't have containers which cross Serbia, I mean transit through the Serbia. So we had a very good position because our port is 14 kilometers from center of Belgrade, capital of Serbia. Capital of Serbia has 2 million inhabitants, and in circle of 150 kilometers live more than 5 million people, or 70% of all Serbian population. So a lot of them are situated near Belgrade. We have also Basin. I mean, from instruction, I have to point that our channel could receive shipped up to 5,000 tons. But you know, the Danube is a problem. So at the last time we could receive, I mean, lots, or 2,000 or 3,000 tons. I mean, a few barges. So aquatory of Port of Pančevo is 21 hectares. Operational K is 760 meters. We had 100,000 square meters opened warehouses and 32,000 square meters closed warehouses, 8 30,000 square meters roof warehouses. Port of Pančevo has 6,000 meters railway and 4,000 meters road and 20,000 square meters parking space. Also, we could to directly transshipment goods from barges on a wagon, because we have 3 tracks of rail on our quay. Also, we have 2 railway tracks through to our storage area, open and cover storage area. So that's why we could to receive goods and transshipment and in all weather, you know, if it's raining or not, that is our advantage also. So our country, as I said, had different agreements with EU and the Euro-Asia Union. So that is, I think, in this moment, advantage to open, produce, to start produce in Serbia, because you know, the goods which is origin from Serbia, some kinds of goods hasn't customs tax in EU and also in Euro-Asia Union. So the main goods which we transshipment in our port in last 6 months is fertilizer on the first point. Second goods is petrol coke. So a lot of construction material, because you know we have some big project in Serbia, railway on some PowerPoint. Also with transshipment in the last few years, a lot of windmills elements. So our quay is we can to transshipment oversized cargo and heavy cargo up to 140 tons also. So, but you know, because we have a direct connection with Danube, also we have railway tracks in our port and direct connection with road E70. We develop trimodal transport in our port. So together with DPT terminals, we develop also containers terminals. As you can see on this slide, this terminal is area, it's up to 30,000 square meters. We could transship also dangerous material, there, class 1, 3, 9 also. So we started, so we are in procedure some to open storage area for the dangerous material. Also, as you can see, we have a lot of containers. I mean, that is a lot for a river port, for our port. And the last year, we transshipment 10,000 containers. So for us, that is very important. And we see also, because as Mr. Bela said, the grain was so going down, and we transshipment in the last 1 year more than 20,000 tons, but that is so low. So we see, you know, something good for us only if producing in Serbia will starting to grow, and in our area also. At the moment, as I told, the fertilizer, it's the main goods in our port. So maybe I was so short, but I hope that some information I tell you that could be interesting for some of our colleagues from the other. We have also cooperation with Liberty, as Mr. Gabor told, and with some companies from Bosnia. So I'm so sorry, but I must tell that Port of Vukovar couldn't ship some goods from Russia, and those goods we transship. But that is not good. I mean, the customer from Bosnia has, more expensive, because the Port of Vukovar is closer to Bosnia than Port of Pančevo. We are not happy on the other side, because we have to grow up together, as Mr. Bela told. So thank you for attention. If anybody has some question, has our contact, and good to ask everything needs. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Liana, and we hope the traffic flow will continue in the natural way very soon during Vukovar also, and you have other products to ship in Pančevo. I get a question about the last day with your addresses. I can tell you that we recorded the event, and I will publish it on the our YouTube channel, and I will send the link so you can find all the presentation there easily, and you can connect it to each other if you would like. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we are going down, and after the many infrastructure managers and railway companies, we are speaking about the real shipping companies. The Transport Freight Services TTS is one of the biggest shipping company on the Danube, and Mr. Savaboton is very happy about this speaking. So I give the floor to Mr. Cătălin Petrea, and who is the director of TTS, and he will tell us some information about the current difficulties and adventures of the Danube.
Hello, my name is Cătălin Petrea. I'm the operational director of TTS Bucharest, chief of chemical department in the company. I would like to present you a few words about our company, and which is our company is dealing mainly on the shipping on the Danube, and after which I shall present you part of the hurdles we are facing in the river transport. TTS Bucharest, it is a Romanian forwarding company established in 1997, presently being listed in the Bucharest Stock Exchange, and also being member of FIATA and BIMCO. Since its founding, the company was continuously expanded his activities, becoming presently in the recent years one of the main competitors in the southeastern region concerning the river transport and the port operation sectors. Presently, TTS, it is operating and managing 7 Romanian maritime and river terminals on Danube, plus another Hungarian Danube port terminal. I shall take it by turn. It's Constanta. It is full equipped for cranes, grains, storage facilities. It is well endowed with conveyor belts, with bobcats, with bulldozers, and all other equipments necessary for maneuvers of the cargo and other maneuvers equipment. Used for direct and indirect transshipment of iron ore, coal, clinker, grains, fertilizers, steel products, and so on. Our main storage place for the grains, it is located in Canompus Berth. In Constanța, it is of 110,000 tons of grains capacity. Coming on Danube, we can come from Drobeta Turnul Severin, which is used for storage and handling of different cargoes, such iron ore, coal, steel products, grains, fertilizers, equipment containers, and it is also provided with the bagging facility of fertilizers. Becket port, it is consisting in mainly in transshipment and storage of grains, as well as bagged fertilizers, being able to store by a flat warehouse and floating warehouse about 2,000 tons of fertilizers in bag. Giurgiu, it is presently under investment works, but it is also having the possibility to transship and to store grains. They have a silo of 6,000 tons capacity there, but they are also having the possibility to make direct transshipment of other cargoes, such bulk or bagged fertilizers, equipments, etc. This port presently, this terminal is under investment works, and most probably these investments will complete the end of this year, beginning of next year. Oltenica, it is another port of TTS. It is another terminal of TTS. It is having the possibility for storage and for transshipment of grains, and also additional cargoes such fertilizers or steel products and so on. I was wishing to tell you that last year we just completed an investment there on which we were making the platform. We were making a concrete platform in the port, and we were adding a flat warehouse where the fertilizers, for example, in my case, I'm using. After Oltenica, we can come to Brăila. Brăila, it is used mainly for transshipment and storage of grains, but it is also performing additional other transshipments. For example, I have a small storage place for fertilizers and also a packing machine for the bulk fertilizer. And regarding Romania, last but not the least, it is the silo in Galați. The silo in Galați, which has a capacity of 25,000 tons, and which is in a way beneficiary in these moments because they have a possibility, a connection with the large wage and the European wage rail transport. also trucks, and also can perform transshipment into barges. Regarding the Hungarian port, it is I'm speaking about Fais port. Presently, is expecting to commence. He's endowed with fertilizers and grains transshipment facilities, but he's waiting this year to commence some big investment works in this respect to make it better. I mean, to achieve better possibilities. In Hungary, through his own associated members, meaning Navrom Galați and Fluvius, and together with some chartered fleet, TTAs, it is transporting more than 7 million tons annually, representing cargo, which is iron ore, coal, coke, cement, fertilizers, grains, equipments, and even containers, and also liquid products. He's performing his activity all alongside the Danube, between Constanta or Sulina up to Kelheim, and or from Ren or Ismail up to Kelheim, and also using the affluents, part of the affluents of the Danube, which is Drava, for example. We can sail up to Osijek, and on Sava we can sail up to Brško. As you know, the Danube is one of the most important navigable way in the Eastern Europe, linking the Black Sea and the center of Europe. This is one, how to say, a big connection, which has to be added to the fact that it, according to EU strategy, in this way should link also together with the rail and road. They have to make connections with that in order to achieve a better development of the area. Not to forget the fact that this Danube, it is also making connection between by his Rhine-Main canal, it is making connection with the North Sea. So it is also some navigable way between North Sea and Black Sea, which is more attractive, and it can be performed by specialized river units transports, river units. We are here speaking about the consequences which are happening now due to the reasons which are stopping the navigation and the shipping, delivery of the shipping. It's so first of all, the shipping, it is influenced first by the markets, and in this case I'm speaking about the actual variation of the markets and the volumes of cargo which are now presently observed due to this problem with Ukraine. Second alternative is the weather conditions, which are influencing also the crop and also the navigation and the delivery of the goods and the quality of this delivery of the goods. In this respect, as Mr. Bela was telling you previously, we have a problem. Here there are in every country we have navigation passage stops, yeah, some obstacles. And one of the reasons of these stoppages, obstacles, it is the fact that, for example, between Gabčíkovo and Iron Ore Gate 1, which is about 900 kilometers on Danube, there is no dam, no locks. Not, also between the Iron Gate 2 up to Constanta or Sulina, there are neither any dams or locks. In this respect, I think it is one of the problems. As a consequence of the insufficient level of the passage depth, we have the reduction of the loading drafts from 230, 250 centimeters up to less than 200 centimeters, implying reduction of cargo quantities loaded in each transport vessel by approximately 1/4, from 1,200, 1,300 up to 900, 1,000 tons, which is it is implying to lose about 25% of the loading capacity. Also, in these in these low-level areas, we have to split the convoys. For example, from one convoy, which is, and one example, it will be one convoy of 9 units, which normally at 230, 250 centimeters should be loaded with about 1,200, 1,300 tons of cargo in each barge, meaning totally about 10,800 tons. Due to the low level of the river, the barges are loaded in less than 200 centimeters with 900 up to 1,000 tons capacity, meaning about 8,010 tons per convoy. And this it is reducing very much, and how to say, the total expenses, which are very much in this case, are applying to a smaller quantity. So this splitting of convoys, for example, one convoy of 9 units, it is split in 1 or 2 parcels of 1 or 2 units, which have to repeat the transit in the sector where by the propulsion ship, covering hundreds of additional kilometers. This implies additional consumption of resources, meaning about between 5 and 11 tons per each convoy of fuel, I'm speaking. Long delays in that period between 5 to 7 days per each convoy. Damage of the ship because of grounding on the shallow water levels, loss of carriage contracts, and decrease in customer confidence in the shipping. Of course, when you are blocked with a unit in that in such an area with low level of water, one of the alternatives is to lighter the cargo in the barge. But this lighterage means not only additional costs, this additional time, and not to mention that there is no lighterage without losing of cargo. We don't have to forget that. In this respect, I think that these are the main things. And also, I have to add the fact that we have to see there are other problems also in the navigation, in the shipping in Danube. it is the migration of the labor force. This is one of the problems we are facing in Romania, and most probably main part of the Eastern European owners. It is that we are losing masters and crews due to the fact that they are going to West for better salaries and better conditions. And one solution to that, it is to improve their salaries and working conditions, things which will lead increasing of the actual freight rates. So as I was telling you, there are in the Romanian sector, there are two main points where we have problems. We have Luta Zimnica area, which is between 572 to 515, between the kilometer 572 to 515, meaning totally about 57 kilometers, which, please imagine, in case of one convoy of 9 barges, if you have to move and to remove, I mean, the pusher has to make 8 travels between Luta, which is at 510, and downstream Zimnica. We had a very terrible last year, very terrible from the navigation point of view last year. With in that area, we were having more than 116 days with low level of water. Not to mention that between July and August last year, the navigation, it was closed for 41 days. And this is very difficult to be overpassed. You can understand there were a lot of extra expenses, extra time, and extra money involved in this. And of course, whenever you are telling this to the authorities, the reply is the same. We shall see. In this respect, what to do? We have this is the Zimnica, the Luta Zimnica area, which is difficult to be passed, and also we have another one in the Bala Borcea area. Whenever the water is getting down, you are forced to go from kilometer 345, which is somewhere upstream Călăraș, via Bala arm up to Borcea, and after then to sail upstream, for example, for a convoy going to Constanta. They are going there. From Borcea, it is going up to Giurgeni, and finally it is decreasing. It is going down up to Cernavodă. That means about 300 kilometers more for one convoy. And what to say? It's these are except in this last situation when the how to say, the lower Danube administration, river administration authority was succeeding in the last 4 or 5 years to increase by dredging that area with about 1 meter. We are now how to say, we're decreasing the periods of stationing in that area between 180 days, which was normally in low water years, up to 46 hours, which is 3 times. It is okay. This is one of the solutions to be given to that situation. And what to do? Presently, I think that solution would be to gather and to mobilize all the authorities from each country to try to to make something in order to solve the low level water points in every and each country. And okay, I'm speaking about Romania. I'm telling you what was making the lower Danube administration was making. Also, I know that there are some European and national projects in this respect, and that would be useful to pass it from the studies to the practical achievements finally, because we have to deal, we have to sail continuously every year. And if everybody's making studies, but nobody's doing nothing, finally, this is the situation. There is not so much to say about this. I mean, it is very well known, this situation all along the Danube and all since years. And this is what I think. I think it will be the approach for each and every shipping company from each country to try to approach his own national authority and to try to solve the matter in his country as well all around the Danube. Thank you very much for listening me, and I'm sorry, but I was not having time to make printing presentation and so on. I was
It was perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Katarin Petre. It was a really Bela Szalma style presentation. He's a very strong presentation about all the time, all the platform, about the difficulties of the Danube shipping. And,
yes,
and we also we completely believe that the Danube Hungarian section is the worst in Europe, and this is the only links point. But
together with the Romanian one.
But it's said to her that there are still many work ahead of European Union.
There is there are many things to be done.
Yeah, because we are very good on paperwork and feasibility study and
let's work something.
But there are very few construction work.
Yes, this is the reason why I'm telling you that too much wording. Let's do something.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So you can use Mr. Szalma presentation anytime because you completely say the same.
I forgot to tell you that when I was making the connection with the rail and the road, I was also having to remind about Mr. Kovac. He was telling the same, but we're in the same mood, let's say, in the same figure. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we have still one interesting presentation. We are going to the sea. There are a lot of water without any deep problem, but there are other problems, of course. So we looked for a company in Constanta, and we asked the Sea Container Services company to show us a presentation about the bulk and container traffic at the Black Sea since the war, and we got the chance to listen about it. So I very welcome Ms. Andra Solomon from Sea Container Services commercial representative to show a presentation about the current situation of the Black Sea traffic.
Hello, and first of all, I want to tell that it's a pleasure to be here to talk with you. I want to discuss a little bit about how the war from Ukraine impacted my company, which is a port operator from the Port of Constanta on the south part. As you all already know, the war from Ukraine, just a second, had major effects on all fields, but which is not unexpected that the maritime transport sector and the Black Sea ports from Ukraine were also affected considerably. The port operators had to redirect the freight cargo, suspending the shipments to and from Ukraine, thus making the Port of Constanta one of the biggest point of connection. So it's not surprising that it was a challenge for all the port operators from Port of Constanta. The flow of goods in different forms, such as containerized cargo, bulk cargo, project cargo, and so on, has increased significantly. Since our founding in '98, we faced several challenges, and we can say that the war from Ukraine is one of the challenges. Over time, overcoming certain challenges, we have become one of the most reliable partners for those involved in intermodal transport. Moreover, besides the other two companies with whom we collaborate, Sea Containers, Shipping and Logistics, and Container Clearance Services, we offer a range of integrated services in the field of port operations that are constantly adapted to the partner demands. Services such as discharge or loading operations from sea arrival vessels. Also, we provide storage, open platform, and also warehouses, bagging, packaging, labeling operations, and so on. Also, in order to cope with this continuous flow of cargo, investments were made. Since the outbreak of the war and the increasing number of requests for the operation of the goods in our terminal, our company made investments in expanding the storage capabilities. So in the present, we have approximately 175,000 square meters of open platform and 15,000 square meters of covered warehouses. Also, investments were made in expanding the number of equipments. That's getting to have an advantage by having one of the largest and diverse lineup of machinery and equipment capable of handling most type of cargo in the Port of Constanta. In present, we have 2 mobile cranes with a capacity of 104 each, 3 restakers with a capacity of 46 each, and so on. As I said earlier about the storage, we expanded our storage, and moreover, we operate in present in 2 berths with a length of 308 meters. And the second one with a length of 205 meters. Also, in present, we we expanded our team. We have around 290 employees. We provide in our company continuous trainings in order to improve the skills of our employees. Moreover, I want to share with you some photos of our different types of cargo, such as the project cargo, containerized cargo, and metallurgical products. The flow of the products increased significantly since the outbreak of the war from Ukraine. Also the bulk cargo, bag cargo, and so on. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you for your short presentation. And thank you for everybody who joined today to this online conference. I hope you listen many interesting information. And as I mentioned, we recorded this event and we will publish it on YouTube channel, and I will share you the link. I will send an email with this link, and you can watch again these presentations if you're interested. Thank you so much for joining it, and I would like to thank again to Mr. László Erdei the help to organize this event. I hope we will meet again in next year before the Constant Support Day of Budapest, and we can give you up-to-date information again about the current transportation situation along the Danube. Thank you very much, and see you next time.